Hello everyone, my name is Jane, and on behalf of the Colorado Department of Revenue, it is my pleasure to walk you through this video on filing the Colorado Sales Tax Return Form DR0100 using Revenue Online. This video is for filing periods beginning on or after January 1st of 2025. The dates and values used in this video are for illustration purposes only, and tax rates are subject to change over time. You can pause or replay this video at any time to review the information provided. The Colorado Department of Revenue aims to make complex tax information easy to understand to enable accurate and on-time tax filings. This presentation is intended to provide general information concerning Colorado tax topics in simple and straightforward language. Although we have done our best to provide accurate and complete tax information, this information is not binding on the Colorado Department of Revenue, nor does it replace, alter, or supersede Colorado law and regulations. We recommend consulting with a tax professional for your specific tax situation. We will get started at Colorado.gov/Revenue Online. Logging in to the Revenue Online portal is required to file Colorado retail sales tax returns. For guidance on setting up your Revenue Online portal access, please see the video titled How to Set Up Revenue Online Access Business Tax Account, available at Tax.Colorado.gov/business-ROL-account. Using the Login box on the right-hand side of the screen, enter the username and password that you previously created. Then select the blue Login button to get to your home page. From the home page, scroll down and locate the Sales Tax Account. The most recent filing period will be featured at the top of the Sales Tax Account box. If you are filing for previous periods, in the Account box, select File or Amend and view Returns or Payments. We'll select the most recent filing period, and on the right side of the box, we see Return Actions. Please note that the option Upload a Spreadsheet or XML file is only for businesses that have 2 or more sites. Before a spreadsheet or XML return is filed, pre-approval is required. For more information on this topic, visit Tax.Colorado.gov/sales-tax-spreadsheet-filing. To file your return manually in Revenue Online, select File Return. On the Retail Sales Return screen, all sites on your account for the filing period will be listed. Your physical sites will be identified with a red exclamation point to the left of the location ID. Non-physical sites will be identified by the words No Physical Location in the Site Address column and will have a pencil icon to the left of the location ID. Please note that returns are required for all physical sites, even if no sales occurred. To start your filing, select the location ID for one of your sites, which will open the Site Information screen. It is important to note that for physical sites, even if your gross sales amount is 0, you will still need to file a return. For our example, I'll start with our physical location by selecting its location ID. To easily file a 0 gross sales return for a physical site, you can put a check mark in the box just under line 1 that states, "Check this box to verify gross sales is $0." If you do have sales to report, please list them in line 1 for gross sales of goods and services for this site or location only. For our example, we had $90,000 in sales at our physical location, so I'll enter $90,000 on line 1. If you had any deductions, select Expand on line 2 and enter your deductions on the appropriate lines. For our example, we had $1,500 in wholesale sales. If you have any amount listed on line 12 for other exempt sales, an explanation is required in the explanation box that appears. Line 3 shows the net sales after deductions. The next portion of the return will be for jurisdictionally dependent exemptions. To view and enter jurisdictionally dependent exemptions, select Expand. Not all jurisdictions allow all exemptions, and we encourage you to use the DR 1002 Colorado Sales or Use Tax Rates in order to determine if your jurisdictions allow certain exemptions. Please note that the system will not allow you to enter exemptions in areas that do not allow those exemptions. Where there is a solid line, you are able to enter an exemption. If there is a dotted line, you are not able to enter an exemption. If you are claiming jurisdictionally dependent exemptions that are not listed on their own line, please list them in line 10 for other exempt sales. Please note that if anything is claimed on line 10 for other exempt sales, then an explanation is required in the explanation box. Once the gross sales, deductions, and exemptions are entered for this site, the Revenue Online system will automatically calculate the sales tax based on the sales tax rates for each jurisdiction for this location. On line 8, enter any excess tax that was collected for the jurisdictions for this location. After any excess tax is reported, the system will automatically calculate the service fee allowed per jurisdiction. The service fee will only be calculated if the return is filed timely. Line 13 is for credit for tax previously paid. If a retailer overpaid tax on any previously filed return for a different filing period, and a refund claim for such an overpayment is not barred by the statute of limitations, the retailer may claim a credit against tax collected on the current return for such prior overpayment. Credits may be claimed only for tax overpayments for the same site or location and the same state or local jurisdiction taxes. The calculation must be done for each applicable tax jurisdiction for each site, and the tax liability cannot be reduced below zero. If there is overpaid sales tax on a previous return, you may deduct the overpayment amount on line 13 only if there is not an existing credit on the account due to that overpayment. Line 13 is not used to claim an overpayment that has occurred as a result of the department making an adjustment to a sales tax return or an amended return being filed for the prior filing period. Penalty and interest may be self-assessed if a return is not filed timely. If a return or payment is not timely and the penalty and interest are not self-assessed, the Department of Revenue will calculate the penalty and interest on your behalf and send a bill. Once all of the return information is entered and complete, select OK. This will bring you back to the site list. Be sure to open and complete filings for all physical locations. For your non-physical locations, you will only open and complete the return filing for those locations that had sales. Be sure to complete all return fields when you file your non-physical sites. Once a return is filed, it will get a check mark in the Filed column in the site list. Once all of your physical sites and non-physical sites with sales have been filed, you can select the button File Remaining Non-Physical Sites as $0 returns. At this time, you are encouraged to scroll through your site list to verify that all of your sites have a check mark in the Filed column. Once you have verified that all sites are filed, select Next. The next screen is the Return Summary. The Return Summary screen will show combined totals for each field for all sites that you filed for that period. The Revenue Online system will automatically calculate the total service fees and add back any service fee amounts that are above the State of Colorado statutory limit. If everything looks correct, select Next. On the next screen, you have the option to make an ACH debit payment with your return. To make a payment with your return, select Yes, and then enter your banking information. The system gives you the option to save this banking information for future use. Please note that if you have saved banking information, your payment screen may look different on your account than on our example account. On the right side of the screen, note that the payment type and amount are pre-populated and that you are able to change the payment date. Please be sure to have that payment date on or before the due date. If you are paying by ACH debit and have a debit block with your bank, you will need to contact your bank to request that our debit block ID, which is D8460000537, be added to the debit block filter. If you would prefer to pay using a different method, such as a credit card or an ACH credit, then select No and pay after you submit your return. Once you have made your payment selection, select Next. Next, we have the Confirm and Submit screen. Please note the statement, which reads, "By checking the box below, I or we declare that the return is true, correct, and complete given all known information." Check the required box next to I agree and select Submit. You will now be prompted to enter your Revenue Online password, which acts as your electronic signature. Select OK to submit the return. After the return is submitted, Revenue Online will take you to a confirmation page and present you with several options. From this page, selecting Printable View will allow you to view the return and print a copy. Please keep a copy of your confirmation number by printing the screen, taking a screenshot of the screen, or by writing down the confirmation number for your records. If you select Make a Payment, the system will take you to the ACH Debit Payment screen, where you can scroll down and select other payment methods in order to choose a different payment type. Otherwise, from the confirmation screen, you can select OK to be returned to the home screen of your Revenue Online portal. We have a variety of resources and tools available for you if you have questions or need assistance. We have our websites, Tax.Colorado.gov and Colorado.gov/Revenue Online. You can call our taxpayer helpline at 303-238-7378. You can visit one of our local offices, which are located in Colorado Springs, Denver Metro, Fort Collins, Grand Junction, and Pueblo. We also have the department's guidance publications and our taxpayer email address, which is DOR_ taxpayer service at state.co.us. My name is Jane, and on behalf of the Colorado Department of Revenue, Taxation Division, Education and Training, thank you for watching this video. The Colorado Department of Revenue is always here to help you be voluntarily tax compliant through education, assistance, and customer service.